Hey there, everybody. So we're in 2026. It's January 11th, or as I like to call it, the 11th day of what fresh hell are we in now? I mean, we've got the good shooting in Minnesota, which is flippin' as horrifying as it gets. It's an American citizen who was shot by someone that turns out who's just a really angry little man who did not like a woman telling him no. It was completely unprofessional insofar as would be expected of law enforcement, which, let's say again, ICE is not law enforcement. That's for damn sure. They're untrained, they're unqualified, and they're making a fuck ton of money at it, which really bugs me. That would be our taxpayer dollars. Let's not forget that that's a $50,000 bonus for each ICE agent that signs on, in addition to their salary. And let's keep in mind that the average Christmas bonus in the United States is $2,500. So that was horrible, and that's been driving our news cycle, rightfully so, for a long time now. It seems like it's only been a few days, but it's still like, whoa. But I want to turn our attention to Venezuela here for a quick minute. I know I've talked a little bit about it before, but I think it's important to note what's going on with that right now. What's going on with that right now is that the Venezuelans, shocking, are pissed. What a surprise. I mean, how dare they not be grateful that the United States went in and kidnapped their president and bombed a bunch of innocent people and, all of that kind of business. How dare they? I'm being very sarcastic here. So what do we infer from that? That they're pissed? Well, there's no inference really. There's just the reality. And the reality is that now, I was reading in The Guardian not too long ago, actually this morning, that American citizens are being hunted down in Venezuela now. So our dear leader, who has got the impulse control of a gnat, has now put American citizens at risk, and they're being forced to evacuate Venezuela if they can. I say if they can, for one reason and one reason only, and that is because there are blockades that are being put up. People are being stopped at these blockades. They're blocking the streets. They're looking for American citizenship, proof of American citizenship, and they are taking those people. I don't know where they're taking them. I don't know all the details on that. I'm sure we'll find out more as time goes by. But this is a direct result of Trump's complete and utter inability to think his actions through. It's predictable, But here we are in another situation that is imminent, it seems, according to what he's already saying, and that is that he's going to start bombing Mexico, which, again, act of war, that's supposed to go through Congress, and we all know that it won't. But here's the thing. Just like in Venezuela, the Mexican people are not going to tolerate that shit any more than any American would tolerate an invasion on their soil either, right? But not only that, this is all being framed as bombing the cartels. Well, first and foremost, we don't know that that's what's actually going to happen. And if this does happen, we're never going to find out the real story about it anyway, right? We all know that. They're just going to lie about it. The DHS will lie about it. All of the usual suspects are going to lie about it, right? So we all know that the likelihood is that ordinary Joe Blow Mexican citizens, innocent people, are very likely to lose their lives. Secondarily, Trump thinks he's this really, really tough guy, and everybody's scared of him, and this is what he wants. He gets off on this kind of thing, right? But here's the problem. Cartels don't give a shit. They don't. They do not care even one tiny little bit about who he thinks he is. Oops. They don't care at all about it. And the thing about it is that what they will do, because they are not a government, they are a criminal organization-ish. There are a bunch of them, they're not connected. There's a lot of stuff that goes on with that I'm not completely in the know about, so I'm not even going to try and tell you how it works. But what I do know about it is that these guys do not fuck around. And these are people who are noted for brutal killings. How do you think they're going to react? I think, and many other people who are more intelligent than I am, that they're going to go apeshit on whatever Americans happen to be handy. That's anybody who's a tourist, anybody who lives in Mexico, any business people they happen to find in Mexico, any American at all is going to be a target. And that's going to be an absolute direct result of Donald Trump and his bullshit. I'm going to eliminate the cartels, because there is not one fucking adult in the room with him to tell him and convince him to not put American people at risk. And even if there were, he does not care. All you have to do is look at what's going on in Venezuela, and you can see that he didn't give anybody that's an American citizen in Venezuela any notice that this was going to happen. He didn't suggest that anybody leave. He didn't say one fucking word. And he remains silent even now about, well, American citizen, you would think that, if he cared about his people, that he'd get them out of Venezuela. Hasn't happened. Ain't gonna happen. So as a result, there's going to be a bunch of bloodshed there, and we can just extrapolate that whole thing to what's going to happen when he decides he's going to start bombing Mexico and Mexican citizens. He's got no ability any longer to see the consequences of his actions. He is protected from seeing that by a bunch of people who are just around there telling him how lovely and wonderful he is. And he's just in a bubble, and he's never going to see it. And even if he does, he's not going to care. All the while, there are a bunch of MAGA who either live in Mexico or travel back and forth from Mexico to get medical care, dental care, etc., that they can't afford in the United States. And they still are MAGA, and they're still supporting Trump. And I gotta laugh, because this is what they voted for. His actions here in the next few days over whether he's going to bomb Mexico or not are going to directly affect the American citizens who are MAGA hardcore people who do not believe anything about anything that is negative about dear leader. They're going to figure out real quick, the real hard way, that this is not going to work. I don't find it in my heart to feel real sorry for them. I feel sorry for the other people who are in Mexico, who live there, who are peaceful people, who have integrated into Mexican culture, who love the Mexican culture, the Mexican people, and who did not vote for this. But you know what? The cartels aren't going to care. They're not going to ask who you voted for. They're just going to go and do what they do. I think the answer to this, and maybe it's just because I'm still a little optimistic that we can maybe pull something off that's sane and rational. I think the answer will be a general strike for the United States, that everybody needs to not work, not go to work, not go to the factories, not, stock up on all your stuff, stock up on your food and your staples, all of those things, your seeds, all of the things that you would need. And be prepared to hunker down for a while, because this is going to get ugly. And if there is a general strike, which I have 100% support, because it is a peaceful protest that will hit these billionaires and multi-billionaires in the pocket, which is the only thing they care about, clearly, I think that's the only answer that we have left. Other than that, people are going to start bleeding, and that is something that I do not wish to see. In any case, keep your head up. If you need to stay off the news and off social media for a few days, do it. You need to protect your own mental health, for sure. Because apparently we live in a place that's going to hell in a handbasket, as my grandmother once would say. And yet we're still expected to turn up at work and pay our mortgage and do all of those things. So do what you need to do to keep your mental health solid. Anyhow, this is what I'm doing. I'm playing with some new designs for some spoon rests, and we'll see how it goes. Anyway, take care of yourself and have the day you voted for. Bye.